People over the age of 50 are the fastest growing group of video game players in the country, and that's translating into big bucks. Maya Rodriguez has the story.
At the Hayes Senior Wellness Center, afternoons mean it's time to get up and stretch. In video game bowling, that is.
It's fun. It brings you up. It just make you laugh.
Plays to win, even though video games are not what she grew up with.
See, we didn't have this then. Well, most everybody want to go outside. Now they want to stay in and play video games.
And that's especially true for seniors, according to a new study by the AARP.
Gaming and technology, typically the big cutoff is about 70. That's not what we typically talk about when we talk about seniors, but for gaming and technology, that's where we see a bigger shift.
How big of a shift? In 2016, about 40 million people over the age of 50 played video games monthly. Within 3 years, that number soared to more than 50 million. That means 44% of all seniors are now playing video games. And that means big business, because the amount seniors spent on video games last year alone totaled $6 billion.
And I hope that the gaming industry is going to start taking a look at these numbers and saying, wait a minute, there's really an opportunity here to increase our market share and to develop games that might be even more exciting for older adults.
Back at the senior center, Karen Glimpse says she could never have imagined doing this in her younger years.
I had no idea that I was going to play a video game and move my whole body, so it's like, whoa.
An excitement for video games that's contagious within this generation, too. In Washington, I'm Maya Rodriguez reporting.
Maya, thank you. Well, something is changing at this big city art museum. And it's not the type of art, but who is creating it. Tomorrow, what's leading one large museum to select pieces only created by women, and how curators hope it becomes a trend.
A whole lot going on in our forecast here over the next couple of days. We're going to have that rain fairly widespread here Friday and Saturday. Could see 1 to 4 inches of rainfall across the area, leading to some flooding. But there are those temperatures enjoying the middle 60s, although it's going to be very windy on Saturday. Then things start to dry out here as we go into the second half of the weekend. 40 there. We bounce back up into the mid and upper 40s and partly sunny on Monday. Thanks for joining us here on the Now Indy. The news at 6 starts right now.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Now at 6, the effort to help Indiana families looking to adopt children in need. State lawmakers are stepping in to remove some of the roadblocks many prospective parents have faced.
More than heavy rain in the forecast. We've got to talk about gusty winds and near record temperatures as well.
It's been drawing a lot of unfavorable things.
For years, this former Marsh store has sat vacant, and tonight we've uncovered who the new owner is and the new life that could be coming to this location.
Many people are worried about the security of the 2020 election. We speak with the FBI, what they're watching out for, and how they plan to protect your vote.
I want to be able to finish. I know I wouldn't be able to. It means everything to me to be able to go and finish.
A partnership between Ivy Tech and McDonald's aims to help students across the state pay for college. What you need to know, and we'll introduce you to a real-life success story. And first at 6, lawmakers are taking action this session to help Indiana families who want to adopt children in need.
Foster parents have told Call 6 Investigates they're fed up with roadblock after roadblock, and now lawmakers are trying to improve the process. Call 6 Investigates' Kara Kenny has raised questions about the state's foster care system and explains what's being done about it.
It takes a lot of time, effort, energy, and money to care for a child. Currently, Indiana foster parents receive a state per diem to help offset costs for things like food and clothing. But when they want to adopt that child, many foster parents say the Department of Child Services offers what they call ridiculous payments.
There are times when they're actually being offered in the negotiations with DCS $2 a day or $1 a day. That should never be the case.
Senator David Niezgodsky filed Senate Bill 310, which would create a minimum adoption subsidy of at least 50% of what the foster family currently receives from the state.
This bill very possibly could create a greater system for more children with special needs to be adopted to loving families. We're talking about children that are coming out of broken homes. We're talking about children that may have been traumatized. They have to have some form of treatment, and sometimes that treatment can take a long period of time.
The bill would also make it clear that DCS and the courts cannot consider adoption assistance or subsidies when determining whether to place the child in the home.
I'm trying to do something that's right, and I'm trying to do something that's also possible.
The Democrat from South Bend is already getting support from the other side of the aisle, including Republican Senator John Ford. I believe it's important we give every foster child in our system a new start and let these adoptive parents know how much we appreciate and support them. Kara Kenny, RTV6.
Well, the Indiana Foster and Adoptive Parents Resources and Advocacy Group says it is optimistic about this legislation. It says, quote, "We are grateful for the Indiana General Assembly, along with Governor Holcomb, has recognized the importance of permanency for foster children waiting to be adopted in Indiana. We are hopeful Governor Holcomb and lawmakers will pass the bill supporting foster children and the families who are willing to give children foster homes in order to financially support the ordinary and special needs of children."
Rain has arrived in the state and will not leave until probably Saturday night. It will leave behind anywhere from 2 to 5 inches of rain. I think our peak wind gusts will occur during the day on Saturday, late morning, early afternoon, near record temperatures tomorrow. Here's the latest of several model runs here for potential rainfall. If there's one consensus, it's kind of hinting that the axis of heaviest rainfall will be northwest of Indianapolis. Exactly where that's going to fall, still can't say for certain, but a 2 to 4 inch range. In the metro area, some showers on the north side, 465 and 31. As we drift to the north, you see more consistent rain right up 31 toward Tipton, Kokomo, and Peru. That will roll through Marion as well. Other areas of rain moving quickly from southwest to northeast. Our temperatures, unbelievably mild. 54 in Indy and Bloomington. Temperature in Logansport's at 45 for now, but that warm air will lift all the way to the north. There, the wind gusts around 30 miles per hour. Now it is a warmer wind. Between 9 and 11, an expansion of the rain and the intensity of rainfall. Through the overnight, our first push of widespread rain. We'll finish your timeline for Friday and show you changes for Saturday soon.
Tonight, RTV6 has uncovered major changes coming to this shuttered Marsh store on the city's north side. The former Marsh building at Broad Ripple Avenue in Keystone has sat empty for more than 2 years now. Neither the county nor the developer could tell us what's going on, but RTV6's Megan Sanctorum did some digging and found out the building has a new owner and will bring new life to the location.
It's a large building on a busy corner, and for years, it's looked like this.
It's been drawing a lot of unfavorable things.
Crime, litter, and vandalism are just a few of them, according to people at the hardware store across the street. But the future of this property could look much different. People who live and work in this area say they've started noticing improvements to this building over the last few weeks.
There was a lot of, cars coming in and out, going in the building, like meetings, people looking at the buildings.
RTV6 has learned that Traders Point Christian Church purchased the building. Church leaders say later this month they'll announce how they plan to use it.
It's a prime piece of real estate, and we want to make sure moving forward, whatever happens there, development, we want to make sure that it's done in an inclusive way that seeks out the feedback of our community.
According to the church's website, they're expanding services to Broad Ripple this year, and they will operate out of a nearby temporary location until additional plans are finalized. Regardless of how they plan to use it, some say they're just excited to see progress.
Anything, as long as it's occupied, is going to be an asset. That's going to bring a lot of new people to this neighborhood that don't normally come to this neighborhood. So that's great.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
We will continue to follow this story and update you when we learn more about that development. New information just into the RTV6 newsroom about a 13-year-old boy critically injured in a Wednesday shooting on the northeast side. IMPD now says the shooting on the 4000 block of Wynn Hill Drive was accidental. That's near 42nd and North Post Road, by the way. The 13-year-old is still in critical condition tonight, but investigators say he is expected to survive. There's still no word yet on what exactly happened to cause the accidental shooting. An investigation is underway after police found a man and woman dead in a vehicle on the city's northeast side.
This tops today's RTV6 news feed. IMPD rushed to the 4500 block of North Irwin Avenue near 46th and North Arlington around 11 this morning and found 2 people dead. Police have not yet identified the man and woman who were killed. Investigators are still trying to figure out exactly what happened. And if you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. You can remain anonymous.
Investigators say 2 men found dead in a garage in Anderson appeared to have been working on a vehicle. The Anderson Police Department says that 61-year-old Randy Talley and 53-year-old Steven Sanquinetti were found dead in a garage on the 300 block of East 32nd Street around noon Wednesday. Officers say it looks like both men were working on a vehicle inside the garage when they died. According to police, there were no signs of foul play.
An Indianapolis man now awaits his fate after he was convicted of murder and battery by means of a deadly weapon after a 2-day trial. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office says John Woodcock was found guilty of shooting and killing Heather Medrano in the 1500 block of Barth Avenue in July of 2018. That's near Shelby Street and I-65 on the south side. Investigators say when Woodcock shot Medrano, the bullet went through her and then hit a man in the arm. The man survived. Medrano died. Sentencing for Woodcock is scheduled for January 29th.
The superintendent of Wayne Township Schools hopes she'll recognize this Oldsmobile Bravada. Dr. Jeff Butts says a person in this vehicle stole the catalytic converter from a McClellan Elementary School teacher's car while they were teaching their class yesterday. McClellan Elementary is on West Morris Street, not far from I-465 and Washington Street on the west side. According to Butts, the Oldsmobile Bravada has a trailer hitch and a silver rear quarter panel. If you have information, call 317-988-7701.
A huge concert announcement for fans of country music. The Zac Brown Band has announced their Roar with the Lions tour, and it's coming to Ruoff Music Center in Noblesville. The show is scheduled for Friday, September 11th, but tickets go on sale Friday, January 17th.
Now, just into the RTV6 newsroom, Indiana legend Pete Dye has passed away. Dye is known for designing golf courses here in Indiana and all over the country, including Crooked Stick in Carmel and the Brickyard Crossing. The PGA has confirmed Dye's death on Twitter. He was 94 years old.
With less than a year before the 2020 election, the FBI is working to make sure your vote counts and that it's protected. This morning, the FBI hosted a meeting on election security, detailing what they're looking for this year with the upcoming election. The 2 main issues are manipulation and misinformation. Manipulation could be someone adding people to the voter registration list just to show they can break into the system and mess with your information to scare you. While misinformation could be something you see on social media that is not true, and it's to make you think something different than what's really happening.
It can be anything from actually going and manipulating the votes to voter registration databases to just undermining voter confidence. So everything across the board, from everything we've seen in 2016, 2018, as well as misinformation that's produced through social media.
Michael Alford said the FBI does not ask social media companies to take down posts of misinformation, but alerts those companies that the post may violate the terms of service.
Facebook says it will continue to allow politicians and political candidates to lie in paid political ads. New rules released today by Facebook will allow you to opt out of seeing political ads if you want. Facebook will also give users the choice to see fewer ads that are targeted to them, either by political candidates or companies. Critics, however, say the new rules still allow false information to spread easily, as it did on Facebook during the 2016 campaign. Twitter has banned all political ads from its social network, and Google says it will limit how political candidates target ads towards viewers on YouTube. A new alliance could mean a world of opportunities for local students.
Ivy Tech and McDonald's are joining forces. We'll show you how they are helping students pay for college.
Also ahead, picked to finish in the bottom half of the Big East. Butler basketball is once again defying expectations and ranked 6th in the country. We'll catch up with the Bulldogs before a huge matchup with Providence tomorrow in our Sports Extra Spotlight. Kevin?
So Butler's climbing the polls. Our temperatures climbing as well into the 50s. There's cold air off to the northwest. That won't be a part of the forecast until Sunday. We'll talk about what other changes are on the way coming up.
Let's hurry this over. It's Thursday, January 9th.
We have some breaking news just into the RTV6 newsroom at this hour. The United States House just approved a resolution to terminate any U.S. military action against Iran without congressional approval. This would prevent President Trump from making unilateral decisions when it comes to military action in Iran, except for in extreme emergencies. Again, that breaking news we're following from Capitol Hill tonight.
Hiring Hoosiers is our RTV6 initiative to connect you to jobs, training, and resources. And tonight we are digging into a new statewide alliance just announced today between McDonald's and Ivy Tech.
As RTV6's Nicole Griffin is finding out, the partnership will help thousands of students pay for college.
Serving as an example.
Where's Naomi? Raise your hand. She graduated already.
Naomi Craven is one of thousands of McDonald's employees in Indiana taking advantage of tuition assistance from the company's Archways to Opportunity program.
And I really needed that money to graduate, to get my last semester in, so that's how I got in there and applied. And I was shocked when I got the check and they actually sent it to me and it paid for it. It was wonderful.
The program has provided $1.2 million in tuition assistance to students over the last 5 years in Indiana. Now McDonald's is partnering with Ivy Tech, launching a statewide alliance.
This is making a huge difference for people. And to have the public sector, both the state, Ivy Tech, our institutions of higher learning, and then the private sector come together in this partnership. This is a not-so-secret recipe for success.
This new alliance allows McDonald's employees who have worked 90 days at a minimum of 15 hours per week to get $2,500 per year in tuition assistance.
Our students, so for us, 75% of our Ivy Tech students work, which is why this is a perfect partnership, knowing that our students need to work, but in this case, only have to work 15 hours per week. That's very different. Most employers would require you to work full-time to gain tuition assistance.
Ivy Tech will have counselors at each location to work directly with McDonald's employees. They will help determine which of their McDonald's training and work experiences may transfer into credits, which they can then apply toward their degree. Managers can earn up to $3,000 per year in tuition assistance.
For the kids who can't afford it, it's going to give them an opportunity to afford it. I was one of those people, I never thought I would be able to go, but then I did, and I'm very excited that I am.
Both McDonald's and Ivy Tech expect this new partnership to result in new employees and students looking to both further their education and ultimately achieve their dreams. Working for you in Indianapolis, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
And if you are a McDonald's employee who is looking to take advantage of this program, classes start Monday. Campus leaders we talked to today say you still have time to enroll. Otherwise, the next 8 weeks of classes start in March.
You may have forgotten already, but yesterday at this time, temperature around 30 degrees. Look at us now in the 50s, and this is where we're headed tomorrow. Temperatures peak at least in the first half of Saturday at 64. We're much colder temporarily on Sunday. Other side of that, obviously, is the rainfall that we expect. Rain expanding right now. Tomorrow and Saturday, periods of rain. Won't be heavy all the time. We'll see some breaks in there. As far as total rainfall, maybe 2 to 4 inches. I think the winds will peak during the day Saturday, out ahead of the actual cold front that will sweep through and allow cooler air to return. We may have 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and as I mentioned, the ground in some cases pretty soft, nearly saturated. We will see rivers rise along the Wabash, the White River, East Fork of the White River, already flood warnings in effect. Let's talk about our probability of rain tonight, going up between now and 11, and then you can see pretty much pegging the meter, expecting rain overnight and when you get up in the morning. All of the rain that's here moving from southwest to northeast fairly quickly. I think we'll see this expand later this evening. Temperatures in the 50s wherever you are. Crawfordsville 46, there's one exception as rain has moved through there. At 7 o'clock in the morning, let's pick up the timeline. Pockets of heavier rain, widespread rain though expected. Then you see the breaks in there. Not everybody is seeing rain through the afternoon hours. By the time we get to 7, looks like along and south of Interstate 70, some pockets of heavier rainfall. There, the temperature 62 is our record for the date, set back in the 1970s. Strong low pressure moves northeast, dragging the moisture, warmer air bear with it through the day Saturday. Then as it pulls away, it opens the door to the colder temperatures coming back on Sunday. About a 25-degree temperature drop from our warmest Saturday to the coolest temperature Sunday. 9 a.m. Saturday, rain. By the time we get to 11, a line of showers and thunderstorms. This is where we'd see the intense rainfall. Maybe some 50-mile-per-hour gusts or stronger. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, moving through the metro area to the east. Here's your 7-day forecast. Temperatures only cooler for a little while. Sunday and Monday in the 40s, but we're right back in the 50s Tuesday and Wednesday. With that next surge of warmth, we'll have another chance for rain. And of course, any additional rain after what we have this weekend just keeps the flooding prolonged.
Right. So we'll have to scale back, hopefully, after that.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
Hey, thanks. Good evening. It's been a while now since we've had a really good Pacers Heat dust-up. But thanks to Jimmy Butler and T.J. Warren, we now have one from last night. Just over 6 minutes left in the third after T.J. had already picked up a technical. Jimmy Butler with a hard foul. T.J. reacts by clapping back at him. They walk down the court. Butler answers by blowing kisses at him. Another round of technicals. T.J. with a finger and the ejection. Here's Butler, though. Listen to him after the game.
Did you notice the middle finger from him, and was the blowing of the kiss soft?
He's soft. He's not even in my fucking league, like nowhere near me. And if I was their coach, I would never put him on me ever again. He's like, no, put somebody else on me, because I'm gonna tear his ass up every time we play.
And then afterwards, Butler doubling down on Instagram, posting a screenshot of Miami's schedule, circling the rematch, which comes up at the Fieldhouse March 20th. So, back at practice today. At least TJ's all smiles. Back to business. They travel to Chicago to play the Bulls tomorrow night. But he says he didn't hear what Butler said. Actually, the whole thing was a blur.
I couldn't even understand what he was saying. Kind of just blanked out. So I honestly don't even remember what really happened last night. That's how spazzed I was. So I was just caught in a moment.
Do you look forward to a rematch in March?
Oh, yeah, I look forward to any matchup. Not just a game against them. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I can't wait to play basketball again. That's the type of guy I am.
Hey, the rematch and countdown is on. In college hoop, how about the Dogs? Butler ranked a program high 6 this week, leaving some to wonder, wait, how did this happen? Brad Brown with the Sports Extra Spotlight.
Butler's back to work, trying to treat these days like any other days. But after winning 14 out of 15 to start the season, the Bulldogs won't be quietly going about their business, at least on the national stage.
Obviously, there's an excitement for our fans and family and friends, but it's nothing that was on the board of goals on the way in.
We really don't talk about it. We just talk about the next practice.
We're not really worried about it because, it can go just as quick as it came.
The Dogs put together 6 wins over power conference teams before their conference schedule even began. Butler got pushed to the limit in their Big East opener on New Year's Eve, but a clutch final minute showed another level of poise and focus.
I'll just say it shows that we're really connected. We were able to come together, and I just say we're going to come back and get the job done, and that's what we were able to do.
It's coming down to defense for the Dogs again. Only one of 15 opponents has scored more than 62 points. That's another national top 5 ranking.
I think these guys, had a commitment and a desire on the way in, and obviously they've executed well.
ESPN's bracketology has BU as a #1 seed for March. Crazy? Perhaps. But at this rate, the sky's the limit for this team.
Friday's game, we don't go in there and say, oh, we're ranked in the country, so we win this game. We just have to go in and approach it. Every team in our league's great, so we have to go in and approach every game like it's going to be a war, and that's the attitude we have.
At Hinkle Fieldhouse, Brad Brown, RTV6 Sports.
Tonight at 11, Purdue at 19th ranked Michigan, plus semifinals of the Hendricks County Tournament. The News at 6 continues after this.
And start saving today.
Hey, welcome back. Don't forget, we want your pictures for our RTV6 Photo of the Day segment. Email them to news@wrtv.com.
It can basically be anything that you would put in a photo album, like family pictures, nature photos, pictures of your pets, send it all. If we choose your picture, we'll air it here on the News at 6.
Again, that email is news@wrtv.com.
And these are just a few of the awesome ones we got.
Might be a picture of you hiding under the umbrella over the next couple of days. 54, that's our temperature now with a strong south wind. There's the rain. Speedway, Brownsburg, Eagle Creek, moving up toward Carmel, Fishers, and Geist. A little more to follow there south of Interstate 70. For those of you to the north, tipped into Alexandria and Marion, some rain. I think over the next 48 hours, the most active period will be overnight tonight, and then as we get into Saturday morning to early Saturday afternoon.
Brace for it. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you for joining us.
We'll be back at 7.